Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going over today's early MLB slate for today on DraftKings. I'm also going to be going over my cheat sheet for the main slate for today on DraftKings at 6:40. I didn't make a cheat sheet for the early slate because I just don't have time to do two cheat sheets. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of the pitchers I like and the stacks I like and some of the value plays I like, and then I'll go over my core for the early slate. And then right after this, I'm going to record the main slate for tonight at 6:40 for you guys. So that'll be up pretty soon right after this. Alright, so anyway, before we continue, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. We only need one more to 700 subscribers, so it's really awesome. So thank you guys who support the videos and watch and always leave a like and all that. Alright, anyway, let's get into the cheat sheet. So SP1 today for me is going to be Zach Wheeler. He's my highest projected pitcher, and he's just the best option by far, I think. He's been doing awesome this year. He's getting a ton of soft contact. He's not giving up any hard contact, limiting the power, and as you can see, he's giving the least amount of hard contact on the slate, only 25%. He's a nice favorite going against Washington, and Washington doesn't scare me right now. They're striking out at a 26% clip. They have a decently low team ISO, and the team WOBA's below 300, so I think it's a really good matchup for him, and I just think he's the number one option. He's going to be really chalky too. I wouldn't be surprised if he's around 60, maybe 60-70%, because I think he's by far the number one option. So definitely going to go with Zach Wheeler and get him in your lineups at all costs. Probably my number one priority for the early slate. And then I like Chris Bassett. He's been pretty good recently. I mean, I know he usually hasn't been a big strikeout guy, but he's been racking up the Ks lately, and he's going against a really righty-heavy lineup in Detroit. And the thing is, he struggles versus lefties a lot. But I'm only seeing 3 in the projected lineup, and other than that, it's all righties, and he can strike out righties, and he's very good versus them too. So really, the only guys I'm concerned about are those 3 lefties, but they're not like elite lefties at all. So I mean, I think he's a really good option. I think he's going to be chalky as well. But for good reason. Those are my 2 favorite pitchers, and really the only 2 pitchers I'm really looking at. Maybe Turnbull in tournaments, just because I think Oakland's gonna be chalk because they're really low priced today. They're really giving Turnbull a lot of respect, I guess. But so if you want like a GPP option, I guess I don't mind Turnbull because he's been pretty good versus righties, and that's a really righty heavy lineup. Besides guys like Olsen and can't remember off the top of my head, but. So I don't mind if we're going to go Turnbull with the GPP, but my 2 main options are going to be Chris Bassett and Zach Wheeler. They're just really good matchups, and Bassett's going against Detroit, so they got the 26% K rate, low team WOBA, low team ISO, and just a good matchup overall. So I like those guys a lot. And then for the bats, I want to go to Plate IQ because I can't list my bats by teams in the hitting model, so I'll have to figure that out at some point. But let's go take a look at Plate IQ. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay, so let me go to my bats. Okay, so for the best bats I have right now are going to be the Rangers going up against Homer Bailey. So I think this is an awesome matchup for them. I expect them to be really popular on this slate, but it's for good reason. Homer Bailey's just not a very good pitcher. It's pretty much a gas can at this point in his career. He really gets hit by lefties. He's giving up a 236 ISO to lefties. Getting a ton of hard contact. He can't strike anyone out, lefty or righty. And the hard contacts are the roof there. So definitely like not Homer Bailey. Definitely like these Texas lefties. So specifically Shin-Soo Choo and Joey Gallo and Mazzara being the top plays. And then if Danny Santana is hitting second, I don't mind him. Willie Calhoun, if he happens to be the one that's hitting second, he's fine too. And then Rougned Odor, I wish he was hitting higher, so I'm really not that interested right there, but I guess he's in. If you want to go to the back half of the lineup, I guess that could be sneakier in GPP, so like Asdrubal Cabrera, Rougned Odor, and Guzman. So, but really this whole lineup, all the lefties I really like a lot, just because of how bad Homer Bailey is. And then we have the Kansas City Royals on the same game. I believe this game has the highest over-under. But it's really just 2 not very good pitchers on the mound for both teams. So Lance Lynn's actually he's not terrible, but versus lefties is where he's going to struggle. But it's really not that bad, but the strikeout rate's a lot lower. He walks a lot more guys, and he gives up more hard contact to the lefties. So if you want to single anyone out, it's the lefties here. So guys like Nicky Lopez, he's still pretty cheap. He's actually one of my favorite value plays at only 3,300. And then Mondesi, he's just an elite bat. He's got plenty of speed, so don't mind him at all. And then Alex Gordon and Ryan O'Hearn would be my targets here. And then I don't mind Maldonado at 2,300 just because he's so cheap and he usually seems to get on base. Let me turn my phone down so it doesn't keep going off. Okay. And then some other bats I like. I said I like Oakland just because they're so cheap, and I think they're going to be pretty high owned. So maybe it's a nice place you could go for cash games. But Simeon's really cheap, Profar's cheap, Chapman's cheap, Chris Davis is cheap, and Matt Olson's cheap. So I can see why you'd want to go there. I mean, Turnbull hasn't been, he's not like a gas can or anything, but I mean, he's not an elite pitcher. And these guys have power versus righties, specifically Chapman, Davis, and Olson, so I don't mind those guys at all. But I mean, he's been good, though. I mean, I'm not saying you should pick on him, really, the lefties. So I guess Matt Olson would be a really nice play today if you can get him in your lineups, which you should be able to. I think he's only 3,800 off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I might be wrong, but don't mind some Oakland bats. But I do think Turnbull would be an interesting GPP play. But really, the main reason is if they get on Turnbull early and he gets pulled after like 5 innings, let's say, that bullpen's really bad. I think they could do some damage versus that bullpen. And then I also like the Mets lefties going up against Anibal Sanchez, right? Yeah, Anibal Sanchez. So really, he's just a strike thrower, and I mean, I know he's been pretty decent, but I do like some of these lefties guys. I think they're a little bit better than what Sanchez is going to be. So that's guys like Robinson Cano. He's one of my core plays today just because he's so cheap, and he's pretty good versus righties. Puts the ball in play, has a nice strikeout rate of only 14%. And then Michael Conforto, he's going to be the guy that's bringing the power here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a home run today. And then Jeff McNeil he's okay. I'm not really going out of my way to get him in your lineups, but I like Cano and Conforto. So I guess it's really not, you can't really stack this up. I wouldn't really stack this lineup, but I think there is some nice one-offs here in Cano and Conforto. And I think that's going to be it, although I do think some of the Brewers guys are interesting. If I can find it. Yeah, going up against Eflin. I do like Eflin as a pitcher, but versus lefties is where we can attack him. And the Brewers do have a lot of good lefties, so that's going to be the problem for him. So versus when he's going against a righty-heavy lineup, I do like Eflin, but versus lefties, this is probably not the lineup you want to go against. So, I mean, we got Christian Yelich, probably one of the top 3 hitters in baseball this year. Well, probably number 1 this year. And then Mike Moustakas, he's been great. Yasmani Grandal, I could see him being popular catcher position if you don't punt with Maldonado. And then Eric Thames, if he's in the lineup, I mean, I think he's a nice spot too. So I think this whole all the Brewers lefties are in play versus Eflin. And I don't know, with some of the guys like the Rangers, they might go a little bit lower owned, but with Oakland too. So, but they'll probably be decently popular. It's only, a 4-game slate, so I guess no one's really going to be too sneaky. But anyway, I want to go over some of my favorite value plays really quick. So I like Robinson Cano at 3,400, Maldonado at 2,300, and Nicky Lopez at 3,300. I think those are some nice value plays, and as well as all of the A's bats like Olson and Chris Davis and Simeon. Then my core 4 would be Wheeler, Bassett, Cano, and, well, I guess not my core 4, core 3. Those are my core 3 right now. I gave you guys enough plays you should be able to make a lineup together, just like that. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for the early video. I'm about to record the late slate video going over my cheat sheet and some plays like that. So remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. You can also hit me up on Twitter at cpen_16. And good luck today, guys.